Hey guys, I'm Tyler. And in the ever-expanding espresso industry, you may come across a variance of portafilter sizes. Now, the standard portafilter used widely across the industry is the 58 millimeter, used on our Flair 58 models. However, you may come across other options that are narrower and deeper. These are considered restricted diameter portafilters. This is a 46 millimeter portafilter used on our Pro 3, and this is a 40 millimeter portafilter used on our Neo Flex. You might be asking yourself, what does the size of the portafilter mean? Does a larger portafilter mean better espresso? And which one is best for me? Today, we will cover just that and hopefully answer those questions for you. But regardless of the portafilter that you're using, you can still get great espresso as long as you know what you're doing. So let's get into it. But first, in order to demonstrate how each of these portafilters impacts the extraction process, we first need to lay down a baseline for how espresso was created without getting too far into the weeds. So, espresso is created by subjecting coffee to intense levels of heat and pressure to create a very concentrated extraction of coffee. This process of subjecting coffee to heat and pressure dissolves the coffee and expresses the gases locked inside the coffee grounds, creating crema. Now, as I mentioned before, the 58 millimeter portafilter is the industry standard. This is what's most commonly used at cafes. It offers a wide variety of options for different baskets and screens to improve your extractions. With this, you can recreate recipes from your favorite cafe. However, the 58 millimeter portafilter does require a specific grind, which you would find during your dialing in process. The size of your dose, how fine your grind is, and your overall puck preparation is much more delicate, and every nuance has a greater impact on your extraction, which means it takes more attention in the preparation process, but does result in more clarity and elevated flavor notes. If you want to dive into all the intricacies of espresso, the 58 millimeter is right for you. So, how do restricted diameter portafilters impact the extraction process? The reason they're called restricted diameter portafilters is because they have a narrower diameter compared to the 58 millimeter. Now, having a smaller diameter on your portafilter does mean the water distributes more evenly across the portafilter. And water distribution is an important factor in the extraction process, as you want the water to saturate the puck evenly. If water is not distributed evenly, then you increase the chances of under extraction or channeling. In the end, the more evenly the water is distributed across the puck, the better your espresso will taste. Along with having a more narrow diameter, these portafilters are also deeper than the 58 millimeter. Having a deeper portafilter does mean you'll need to grind your coffee more coarse in relation to the 58 millimeter portafilter in order to allow the water to flow through the puck adequately. If you grind your coffee the same as a 58 millimeter, it will in fact choke the portafilter and make it much more difficult to extract the espresso. At the same time, using a coarser grind may require you to dose up in order to create the required bar pressure for brewing. On the other hand, using a more narrow and deeper portafilter does mean that the extraction process will be more forgiving. Having a deeper portafilter means that there's more coffee for the water to pass through, and inconsistencies are less impactful in your extraction. So if your grind isn't quite perfect, your distribution is a little off, or you didn't tamp super well, you can still get a quality extraction of espresso because the water has to pass through a thicker bed of coffee. Another benefit is that the extraction will have a greater body, which means when sipped, it'll have a more syrupy consistency. So if you're new to brewing manual espresso at home, having a restricted portafilter will grant you greater leniency when dialing in your espresso. And you can still get a cafe quality shot of espresso, even though the portafilter is different. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that your brewing experience is what you want. So yes, size does matter, but not in the way you might expect. With the 58 millimeter portafilter, it does require a more specific grind, but does result in a shot with greater clarity and offers you the opportunity to run down all the rabbit holes to dial in your puck prep process, it's a lot of P's, for the perfect espresso. On the other hand, a restricted portafilter will give you more body in your extraction and be more forgiving so you don't have to sweat the details as much. Either way, you can still get cafe quality espresso with any size portafilter as long as you know how the size of the portafilter impacts the extraction process. We hope this video helps you decide which portafilter is best for you. If you have any other questions, drop those in the comments. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.